Welcome to Summary Books, where you can transform your financial life through videos that share financial advice, tips, and wealth-building mindsets. Dear friend, think about how much money has passed through your hands throughout your life. Consider it this way: every time you receive a salary, spend money, or receive a payment, that's money passing through your hands. Over your lifetime, this amounts to a lot of money. The question is, how much of that money is left from your earnings? Let me put it this way: you might have earned 500 million last year, and you're 30 years old. Suppose you first earned money when you were 18, with a monthly salary of 2 million Vietnamese dongs from tutoring while you were still a student. Now, add up all the money you have earned over the years until today, and it might total 3 billion, 5 billion, or even more or less. But the question is, out of all the money you have earned in your life, how much remains in your wallet? You might not have thought much about it, but it's worth considering because the answer could surprise you. Believe it or not, an average person spends hundreds of millions annually on food, housing, transportation, and other needs. Over your lifetime, this could amount to hundreds of millions or even more, not including the money spent on non-essential items like clothing, entertainment, and travel. So, the question is, are you truly satisfied with the money left in your wallet? If the answer to this question doesn't make you happy, it might be because you don't fully understand the rules of money. In this video, I will share with you 18 money rules so you can live a rich and fulfilling life. You will never be wealthy if you don't master these money rules. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you will learn all of them. And before we dive into the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share to support it. Thank you very much. The first rule of money is not to let anyone know you have it. In today's society, your social status is often determined by the amount of money you earn. Therefore, it's no surprise that we like to flaunt our income. However, what's crucial is that no one should know how much money you have, because if people know how much you're earning, they will start asking for your help or a loan. Before you know it, you'll be surrounded by people who are always trying to take advantage of you. Trust me, I know this from experience. Boasting about money might make you feel good in the moment, but it's not worth the price later. Now, it's not just about material wealth. If you flaunt your riches, you send a message that you're better or superior to others. Although this might make you feel good and respected, in reality, it can have the opposite effect, as people will become envious and resentful of your success. So, what's the alternative? Stay humble and appreciate what you have without attracting attention from others. Move on to the next money rule, which, if you don't master, will prevent you from ever becoming wealthy. Invest time before investing money. Many people think they need money to make more money, but time is often a more valuable asset. For example, investing time in learning about personal finance, wealth-building mindsets, and successful habits will help people make better decisions with their money and avoid costly mistakes. For those who are already experts in finance, spending time researching new investment opportunities can help you grow your wealth. Although there are cases where investing money instead of time makes sense, such as hiring an expert to do a job that would take too long to learn yourself, or when time is a critical factor. Overall, investing time to learn before putting your money into something you don't understand can be a wise decision. Let's move on to the next rule of money, which if you do not master, you will never become wealthy. It is this: money is a game. The game provides opportunities for improvement because the more you play, the more you learn, and the more you improve. Over time, even the most inexperienced player can become skilled at any game they play. Similarly, with money, it does not matter how poor you are at it. The more you play, the better you will get. Like any other game, Money has its own set of rules, so you must learn them if you want to excel at the game. For example, in chess, one of the basic rules is that you can only move one piece at a time. If you try to move two pieces at once, you will be penalized. Similarly, one of the basic rules of money is that you must save before you can spend or invest. The good thing about the game of money is that you can learn it, just like chess or any other game. Once you understand the basic principles, you can start developing your own strategies to win. The next rule I have for you when it comes to mastering the rules of money so you can live a wealthy life is, money will not resolve your insecurities. You might not want to hear this, but when it comes to insecurities, money will not solve your problems. You might feel that you need an expensive car or a bigger house to be valued or admired by society, but that won't make you feel better about yourself. Why? Because money can't buy self-esteem or happiness. The truth is, if you constantly compare yourself to others and feel you're not good enough, no amount of money can change that. Rich people will always be richer, talented people will always be more talented, and you can't stop comparing. Therefore, the only way to overcome your insecurities is to work directly on them. This means accepting yourself and learning to love yourself. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in an endless cycle of material possessions that will never truly make you happy. Please comment below if you agree that money cannot buy self-esteem or happiness, and share your insights on this topic. You might be able to help someone. The next rule, which if you don't master, you will never become rich, in the 20 rules of money is, money is the game of life. Why is money the game of life? Because it doesn't matter how much you save or how wisely you invest, there will always be more to win and lose. So forget the idea of depending on retirement. You can automate some of your tasks and reduce working hours, but overall, this game has no end. And if you don't believe me, just look at the wealthiest people in the world. They keep working even though they don't need to. The good news is that money doesn't have to be a source of stress or worry. If you approach it with the right mindset, it can be quite enjoyable. So view it as a challenge to conquer rather than an enemy to defeat. Move on to the next rule of money, which, if you do not master, will prevent you from ever becoming wealthy. The more you learn, the more you win. In today's society, learning valuable things in your life is more important than ever, because with the current economy, jobs are scarce and competition is fierce. It is not enough to just learn anything. You must learn things that truly benefit you in some way. The good news is that there are many ways to learn valuable skills without spending a lot of money. For example, there are many free courses on the internet that can teach you from basic knowledge in computer science to more complex topics like web design, business accounting, or finance. You can also find many valuable books online, such as The Richest Man in Babylon, or Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill. Remember, in the journey of life, it is important to learn with full commitment because each experience is an opportunity to grow and expand your knowledge. The more you learn, the more money you can potentially earn and the more you can contribute to others. By the way, if you've been enjoying these money rules tips so far and want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment 1 below. The next money rule is to associate with people who are good at making money. As the speaker and entrepreneur Jim Rohn once said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to make money, it's a good idea to become friends with those who already know how to do it. This is how things usually work. If you surround yourself with people who know how to make money, you're likely to learn from them and start making money for yourself. Of course, it's not always as simple as that. You can't just approach a wealthy person and expect him to take you under their wing. But if you make an effort to connect with experienced and successful people in the financial world, you'll have a better chance of reaching your goals. Therefore, don't hesitate to reach out and connect with those who seem to know what they're doing when it comes to money. It could be the first step on your path to financial success. You will never get rich if you don't master the next rule of money. The greatest wealth creations often occur during crises. The Great Recession of 2008 was one of the most challenging moments many people remember. Many lost their jobs, homes, and lifetime savings. It was a time full of hardship and instability. However, there were also opportunities during this crisis, and for those who knew how to seize them, the recession represented a great chance to make significant money. Indeed, many do not realize that some of the greatest wealth creations happen during economic downturns, when the stock market crashes and people are selling off. Smart investors can buy stocks at rock-bottom prices, allowing them to take advantage of the lowest prices and make a lot of money when the market recovers. The next rule I have for you, when it comes to mastering the rules of money, is that as you get older, your expenses increase. Over time, your costs will continue to rise, whether due to inflation or simply because your taste becomes more refined. You will find yourself spending more and more money. The truth is that we all want to improve and have a more comfortable life. It is our nature. We work hard to earn more money, and therefore, we can buy better things and enjoy a more pleasant life. But do you realize that each year, in one way or another, you are spending more? It's not just that living expenses increase annually due to inflation, but we also tend to want more things as we age. We see our friends and neighbors with beautiful things, and we want them too. So, we work longer hours to earn more money and be able to buy those things. Although it is hard to accept, your expenses will continue to rise, and if your income does not keep up with the pace, it will be difficult for you to progress and break this cycle. Therefore, it is essential to pay attention and take preventive measures. The next rule, which if you don't master, you will never become wealthy, is, don't fly first class. Many people spend between $2,000 and $3,000 on a first-class ticket when they could spend $300 for the same flight. But is it really worth paying that much for first class? Consider this. Imagine you travel about 8 times a year, and if we calculate that each first-class flight costs $2,000, that would total $16,000 spent in 1 year. If you used that $16,000 to start a new business, over time you could earn back much more. Or if you already have an existing business, that money could be used to hire more employees, which could improve your results. It could also be used to take some financial courses to gain the knowledge and skills needed to manage your money better. The reality is that if you fly economy, you will still reach your destination. You might be uncomfortable for a few hours, but you will get there. Of course, it depends on what you do with your money, but remember that thinking long-term can yield the ultimate results. Adhere to the rule that money works according to the following principle. Wealth accumulates over time. Wealth does not happen instantly. It takes time to build it up, just as you cannot make a tree grow overnight. You also cannot grow wealth instantly because you need patience and consistency to see results. For example, Warren Buffett, considered one of the greatest investors of all time, started investing at the age of 11. He bought his first stock at $38 per share, which is now worth over $108.2 billion. If you had started investing just $100 when Warren Buffett was 11, today you would have a substantial amount of money, thanks to the power of compound growth. In fact, you might have over $1 million if you had reinvested your dividends and allowed compound growth to work its magic over the decades. So, if you want to accumulate wealth, learn to start investing early and let compound growth do its job. The next money rule, which you will never become wealthy if you don't follow, is, don't let your money get lazy. Money is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it will weaken and shrink. Therefore, the key to having strong financial muscles is to use them regularly. Think of it this way: if you have $100 in a savings account and never touch it for 10 years, you will still have that $100, but it will be worth much less due to inflation, real estate appreciation, and rising living costs. Now, if you had invested that same $100, for example, in a business, over 10 years, you could have earned significant returns from your investment. So, what's the lesson here? Don't let your money get lazy by keeping it inactive in a savings account. Allocate part of it to an emergency fund for potential needs, and let the other part work for you to protect it from inflation and earn additional income. The next money rule is to focus on your own finances and not compare yourself to others. Your best friend just bought a new car. It's really beautiful, very attractive, and you can't help but feel a bit envious because you've been driving the same car for many years, and it's starting to show signs of aging. But then, remember the financial advice: don't compare yourself to others. This is good advice, especially when it comes to your finances, because comparing yourself to others can lead to all sorts of problems, from making impulsive and ill-considered decisions to obsessing over things you can't afford. The fact that someone else spends their money in a certain way doesn't mean you have to do the same. So, instead of focusing on what others are doing, focus on your own financial situation and what will help you achieve your goals. You will never become wealthy if you don't master the next rule of money, which is, money is neutral. Some people believe that money is the root of all evil, but this is not true. Money itself is not bad. It is a neutral force in the world with no inherent moral value, and how people use it determines whether it is good or bad. Similarly, money does not change a person from who they are, it only amplifies what a person already is. For example, if a person is kind and generous, money will allow him to do more good, meaning they can help more people and make a larger impact. On the other hand, if a person is selfish and greedy, money will only exacerbate those traits, leading them to exploit others and hoard resources for themselves. Remember that money is just an object. It is the person who uses it who determines its value. You will never become wealthy if you don't master the next rule of money, which is, money flows towards those who know how to manage it. There is an old saying, if you want money, create things that people want to give you money for. This is true because money flows from those who do not know how to manage it to those who do. For example, suppose you create a new app that helps people save time and money. People will want to use your app because it makes their lives easier, and when they see how much money they save, they will be happy to pay for it. Therefore, if you want to make money, focus on creating something that people are willing to pay for. This is the most reliable way to ensure cash flow coming your way. If you don't master the next rule of money, you will never become wealthy. When it comes to saving, you have to start small. William Shakespeare, a renowned investor and writer, was able to retire at the age of 37 as a millionaire thanks to his smart saving habits. His advice to those who want to follow in his footsteps is to start saving gradually. One of his money-saving techniques that you may have heard is his recommendation to cut out small expenses, such as a $5 coffee. The reason for this is that in the effort to save money, people often try to make drastic changes in their lifestyle, which overwhelms them and leads them to eventually give up. Therefore, although it may seem insignificant, these small changes can be a great way to save time. Once you master the art of reducing small expenses, you may find that making larger changes is not so daunting. The next piece of advice for mastering the 20 rules of money to live a rich life is self-control. Many people believe that personal finance is just math, calculating interest rates, analyzing investments, and budgeting. While these are important, they are not the most crucial part of personal finance. The most important part is self-control. If you can control your emotions, you can make sound decisions with your money. For example, when you are fearful, you tend to make poor decisions, such as selling all your stocks when the market crashes. Similarly, when you are greedy, you also tend to make poor decisions, such as buying overvalued stocks just because everyone else is buying them. As someone has said, not being able to control your emotions is the cause of most problems. Therefore, it's not just about making more money, but also about managing what you have, and that starts with controlling yourself. The next money rule is to spend less than you earn. In finance, the golden rule is to spend less than you earn. This may seem like an obvious piece of advice, but unfortunately, many people do not follow it because they allow themselves to be tempted by money and end up spending more than they earn. You might wonder why this happens. One reason is that people often think they can always earn more money. They believe that if they keep spending, they will eventually find a way to earn enough to cover their expenses, but this is not always the case. Another reason is that they let emotions control their spending, meaning they see something they want and buy it without considering whether they can afford it. This is a dangerous habit as it can lead to debt and financial problems. There is no magic formula for spending less, but a good piece of advice is that if you are having trouble saving by the end of the month, perhaps the best solution is to earn more money. However, if you already have a good income and want to save money, then spending less is the way to go. You will never become wealthy if you do not master this money rule, which is, learn to do what few people can do. Dear friends, in a world where many things are mass-produced, it's easy to forget that rare or hard-to-find things are often more valuable. Therefore, learning to do something that not many people know how to do is a great way to increase your value and make yourself indispensable. There are many skills you can learn that will make you more valuable in the eyes of employers or potential partners. For example, if you're looking for something unique, consider learning programming or becoming an Excel expert. Nowadays, being fluent in more than one language is also highly valued, so it's not a bad idea to consider this option. Don't underestimate the power of learning something new, as it could be the key to unlocking greater opportunities in your career or personal life. Remember, you will never become wealthy if you don't master the rules of money. By following these money rules, you will be on the path to becoming wealthy. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Book summary. Wishing you success.